All right, Magic Makers, I have another great episode for you today. Today I want to talk about fitness mistakes, and I'm going to break down 10 fitness mistakes. They're not in any particular order, but I was just thinking about, what keeps people stuck? What keeps people like chasing their tail when it comes to fitness? And it's a combination of, nutrition, it's about mindset, it's about habits, it's all of the above that keeps us stuck. And it's kind of the top, I think my top 10 of what keeps people stuck. So we all are chasing consistency. Okay, listen, we're all chasing weight loss. And for me, that weight loss comes from consistency. And so in this world, it can be really difficult to find that because we look everywhere and someone's telling us that I can lose 10 pounds in 10 minutes if I follow this, strict protocol and it'll last forever. Or, some Instagram influencer will just say, just 3 crunches a day and you'll have a 6 pack. And so I know that it can be, challenging because you're getting information from every direction and you're not sure how to put it all together. And while there are some correct approaches out there, the big challenge is like, how do you take all this information that you're taking into your brain and how do you apply it to your life, right? No one knows your schedule, your situation. You might be working 500 hours a week. You might be a working mom. You might be dealing with aging parents. No one understands that. So here's where I'm going to break down the mistakes, but also share with you how you can easily correct that. And so as I'm listing these, I don't want you to take them personally. What the focus is like you hear it and you're like, yeah, I've been doing that. How do I fix it? Right. So that it's not about feeling bad. It's like, okay, that's a challenge. Here's how I'm going to incorporate something new into that challenge. All right, so let's get started. So the first, like I said, there's in no particular order, but one of the biggest things I see is that people set goals too big. Nowhere in school do they teach us how to set goals, right? We all heard about SMART goals and all of that, but I always hear when I ask someone, you come to work with me, I always like, okay, so what's the goal? What are you looking for? What are we looking to achieve? Oh, just some weight loss, tone up, and everything's I call them squishy goals. And a goal has to be measured, like, because how do you know that you're going to get there if you don't have an endpoint? It's like I always talk about, we put in the GPS, we have to put in the exact address or we won't end up where we want to go. So what I always hear people say is that, they're like, they always want to go hard and they think hard is going to get them the goal. But here's what I will tell you. How I get to my goal is how I have to keep my goal. And at some point, you're going to get sick of going hard. You're going to go on vacation. You're going to get sick. There's going to be a busy period of your time. And the hard is not going to be sustainable. Or you're just like, I just can't anymore. Like mentally, you're just like, I can't. And, I was having a conversation with friends and they were like, I want to lose 3 pounds a week. And I was like, ooh. And they're like, it's not possible. Like I have this person's trying to lose at least 50 pounds. Like, I have 50 pounds to lose. And I was like, sure, you can lose 3 pounds a week. However, if you're done with the yo-yo, if you're done chasing this number, you need to think about, how do I scale it back so that it becomes a habit? How do I scale it back so that it becomes a lifestyle? Because here's the thing, failure isn't fun. That's the one reason why so many of us are like, don't want to start I'm air quoting here, diet, because we always feel we have to be deprived. And so instead of chasing, what if we just started to say, you know what, I'm done. Uncle, I'm done chasing. And so what's the better approach? So we all think we have to go extreme to get what we want. But have you fully considered that it's the extremes that have always sending you back to square one? Because you just get sick, you get tired, you're just like, uncle, I just can't, I can't. So imagine setting smaller goals, achievable goals that you will actually hit. And when you hit them, that'll motivate you. And then when you're motivated, you are going to do more, right? Because so many of us think motivation comes first and then the actions come. No, the action comes that spurs the motivation for you to keep moving the ball forward. So if I wanted to lose that 50 pounds I told you about that a friend of mine wanted to lose, I would say, okay, what can you add to your life right now? And that addition isn't hard. It's not like, oh, I can add 2 hours of working out, or I can add, 2 hours of this. No, what if it's something simple like vegetables? Like, what can I add to my plate? Because nutritional goals will go a long way more than a physical activity. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later in the podcast. So what if I said, all right, every meal, I'm going to make sure I have at least 1 cup of vegetables, right? That's easy. Well, adding a cup of vegetables isn't easy, but it's not like I'm going to give up and we list the 500 things I'm going to give up. It's like, okay, every meal I eat, I'm going to add 1 cup of vegetables. Pretty down to earth, pretty, achievable, right? So that way it's how I'm doing. And I'm going to focus on that for 30 days. I'm going to give myself 6 months to lose 30 pounds. And I'm going to, for 30 days, focus just on vegetables. That's it. And then we move on, because what happens is when we set these goals, they're high, the bar is super high, and there's no specificity to that goal. So we start to break down our goals into realistic, manageable steps. We are going to start to see our first steps towards fitness success. All right. Second one here is not knowing your why. And this one is huge. And I talk about this guy, Simon Sinek, a lot, and because he's the person who kind of crystallized the why. And so if you don't know why you want to lose the weight, that's also part of that motivation. That's also part of what's going to give you that action, right? Because what we have to think about is like, why do I want this? Why am I going to eat and work out to the best of my ability? Like, what's going to motivate me to do that? And I want to think about spending time with my goal. I have a client who's a workaholic, and work is always busy for her, and that's okay. Like that, this isn't judgment. This is just me saying to her, yes, work is always going to be busy for you, but she wants to lose the weight. So I'm like, okay, what is going to motivate you to carve out the time from work to achieve your weight loss goal, right? So it's like, what's your why? Because you can tell me that you want to get down a size. You want to tell me that you want to put on more muscle. You can tell me that you want to lose the weight. But if you say your why, right? Your why is that person that that angel, the angel on your shoulder as you're thinking about it, the angel on your shoulder that says, oh, I could sit here and finish this report, or I can get up and do 15 minutes, right? It's that angel on your shoulder. So you have to think about, what is that motivation that's going to have you, like if you told yourself 15 minutes and you don't bail at 10, if you told yourself you were going to do, a 1 mile run, you don't bail 3 steps in, or you just put your sneakers on and you head back to work, right? And there's no right answer here. Everyone is going to be different, and you decide, right? Some people are, motivated by competition, right? So they need to, I have a client who's a CrossFitter. She needs to get ready for the games every year. And the games happen typically in March, right? And even though she's like, I'm never going to be, the CrossFit athlete of the year, but it's just, that's what she's like, I just want to be better than I was last year, right? So that's what I have fitness competitors as clients, and, just bringing a better physique to the stage, that's motivating for them. So, why do you think Peloton is so popular, right? When you're on the bike, you have, ride milestones, right? You hit 25 miles, 100, not miles, rides, 25 miles, 50 miles, 100 miles. And, you get this little badge of honor that you've done it. People on the ride high five you. And so maybe you need that recognition or appreciation for your ride. Same thing. Some people need to be, it means to be punitive, right? So why do you think these boutique fitness places, that if you book your class, you don't cancel by, depending on some places 8 hours, some places 24 hours, that you pay, right? You might not pay the full boat, but you pay something so that it's your motivation, oh, I can lay here in bed, or if I don't get out of bed, I got to pay $15, $20, whatever it is that you have to pay. Or maybe it's you have a friend that you're going to meet for a walk, and that friend, maybe you have to drive to where you walk, or maybe she's sitting on your, maybe she's beeping her horn outside, whatever it is. Like you don't want to blow that friend off, but we all want to think about someone that we want to be accountable to and help us to get to our goals. And so I want you to think about, spend some time thinking about like what in the past, like when you've been successful, what's helped you to stay motivated? What were the actions that you took? And try to transfer that motivation into inspiration, right? Like take that, like those actions that you took, translate it into that motivation so that it becomes the inspiration for you to keep going and going and going, right? So think about it. What are you going to do when the obstacles appear? Because the obstacles always appear, and it's just how we work with them. Do we go over, under, or around, or we just smash right through them, right? So and accountability feeds into this next one. It's like not holding yourself accountable. And some people can really hold their feet to the fire. And I want to say, let's just go back and start with the definition before I dive full bore into this, right? So the definition is an obligation or willingness to accept responsibility or to account for one's actions, right? So while, this, like I said, this list is in no particular order. Accountability is huge because, how do you hold yourself accountable? Like that, and that's the $1,000,000 question that me as a coach is like, how do I do that? Like, how do I help my clients with that accountability factor? But you are like, how do I help myself with that accountability factor too? This is like, a mistake because people just don't think about it. Like they don't think about accountability. Or I've asked the question, like, what does accountability look like for you? And they can't articulate what accountability looks like. And and accountability is just like, how do we start to develop these habits? That's how I start to define it. How do we start to develop these habits? Because think about it. Most fitness habits are easy to do and easy not to do. And it can be difficult to stay motivated. And of course, accountability is directly like, it's like a direct line. Accountability, motivation, right? It's on the same line. So what are the ways that you will help you to find yourself to stay accountable? And again, I'm asking a question, like, and it's not, a lot of times I ask questions and people think they have to give me an answer like that. Some of these questions are like, dang. I never thought about it. And you might have to give it a good think versus like trying to always just like keep running full bore into the fire. And so think about what makes you accountable. For me, it can be like easily texting a friend, but like, this is what I'm doing this week. Or, I talk about this also a lot. Jerry Seinfeld, he don't break this, don't break the chain. And so he said, this is what I'm going to do every day. And old school calendar on the wall, boom, boom, boom. Every day he did his action, he put a big calendar up there. So think about it. What's that calendar? And I like that calendar approach because I like that visual. And a lot of you guys, you guys like the office supplies like I do. And you want that, like crossing it off with a physical pen, that just feels so good. So good. All right. So moving on. Not finding a fitness program that you find enjoyable, right? And I see it over and over and over again. So many people think that fitness has to be unpleasant, that you have to struggle and it has to be a chore, and it's penance for something that you ate that wasn't on plan. You see those charts that if you eat a piece of cake, you got to do 30 burpees. Or if you have a margarita, you got to run 3 miles. And can you just promise me that you'll just stop this behavior, because your body doesn't work that way. If it did, my job would be so darn easy, so easy. Like lean in. And let me just say this. If you hate it, whatever exercise you choose, you will not do it. You will do it for a certain amount of period of time and you'll find a way to stop. I've said this, and I'm going to say it over and over and over again until you repeat it back to me. When I first started in the fitness industry, I taught a boot camp, and this boot camp was 6 weeks long, and you had to come 5 days a week for 6 weeks. And I told you the first few weeks, everyone was there. And then after week 2, it started to trickle off. Week 4, by week 6, it was only the diehards, the people who were hooked. And so what it really is, it's more about being productive. It's much more productive if you are doing something you enjoy, right? So find something that you enjoy. If you love running, run. Don't run because you heard it burns more calories. Don't run because you heard at a party that so-and-so lost the weight because they ran 10 miles a day, right? Don't hop on your Peloton if you hate riding a bike. Do you love dancing? Great. Do that. Martial arts? Awesome. Swimming? Amazing. Hiking? Do it. Lifting weights? Rock on with your bad self. There's so many amazing ways to achieve fitness these days. So find something that you love. Okay, start there, because once I start getting into the vibe of exercise, it's really easy to start adding on layers. But when I start with something I hate, adding on a layer ain't going to be happy. I'm not going to be happy doing that. All right. The next one is not exercising often enough. So I see I see it all the time. You get busy, life happens, and what was a 5 time a week thing turns into a 4 time a week to 2 time a week to no time a week, because so many of us think that workouts have to be a certain amount of time, right? And so I'm going to ask you, how often do you exercise? How many days a week do you set in your calendar? This is how I'm going to exercise. And the average number of people exercise about 3 times a week. And when I first started, I run a membership site. It's called the Fit Girl Magic Society. And I give 3 workouts a week, right? And some women will come in and they're like, I work out 5, I work out 7 days a week. And I was like, that's great. But when I used to write 5 workouts a week for someone, they would stress out because they could only hit 3. And so I said, I'm going to give you 3, because that way you feel successful. My whole goal is to help you to feel successful. And when data shows that most women can work out 3 days a week, that's the sweet spot. That's also the sweet spot for working out. You need 150 minutes of exercise each and every week, according to the ACSM, and that's the American College of Science and Medicine. So, I've done a whole podcast talking about exercise. So definitely check that out if you want to go deeper down the rabbit hole. The big thing here is we are trying to create habits, right? So that you can exercise consistently. So it becomes part of your everyday life and you don't think about it. It's just something that you do. And so you receive the benefits of this exercise when you repeatedly do it, because exercise, yeah, sure. I feel great in my clothes. I look great naked, but it also boosts our blood flow, our metabolism. It releases those feel good endorphins. And so those are our good benefits of doing exercise. And so it's here's the thing. You don't have to do a 2-hour workout. I told you it's 150 minutes a week of exercise. So if you feel like you got to be at the gym 2 hours a week and you can't leave until you can't wash your hair the next day or sit on the toilet, those days of those workouts, they're over, because if you're a woman over 40, those workouts aren't serving you anymore. And again, listen to that podcast that I talked about, that what makes a good workout. I'm going to also link it here in the show notes so that you guys have a copy. You have a copy of that if you want to take a deeper dive into it. All right. So then that feeds right into thinking more is better. And so, fitness advice runs the gamut. And back when I first started, it was all about aerobics workouts, and step class was my jam. And then it moved to cardio. Then moved to cardio machines. Hello, Stairmaster. Then came boot camps, CrossFit, Soul Cycle, and all the litany of boutique fitness classes out there. So, you'll have to try a few things and see what is going to work for you. But instead of thinking that the duration is what is going to get you the results, step back and ask, what are your goals? Back to number 1, right? What are you trying to achieve? And is your workout going to help you achieve it? And so what I will tell you is that your workout is a nice to have. Okay, so let me clarify that. So most of us, we can't outrun a bad diet. If I'm eating like crap, I'm under eating, I'm not fueling my workout. I don't care how hard you work in the gym, your physique won't change, because if I'm under eating, my body is going to make me hungrier because it's trying to keep up with you. There should be a little hunger, but if I am craving like a mofo, then my body is going to need something. Okay. So instead of thinking duration, step back and ask, what are your goals? Your goals will determine what your workout should look like. And more exercise isn't necessarily better to help you achieve your fitness goals. And I have, again, I've done a number of podcasts on overtraining, and overtraining will always, always beat you, punch you in the face from overtraining. So what the big thing here is like to start to exercise smarter, right? Instead of working harder, exercise smarter. And this includes adding in acts of daily living, the 10,000 steps, so that you're moving your body as much as you are outside of the gym as you are inside the gym. And there's this from American Council on Education, exercise. Ugh. Sorry, acronyms are killing me today. So what they were saying is like, so your total daily energy expenditures, right? So that's how much just you need, like your whole day. If we talk about, if you're like a battery, they say that 60% of your total daily energy exercise expenditures, that comes from your basal metabolic rate. And that is just you breathing. That's you blinking your eyes, thinking, digesting your food, right? That's 60% of your day, like that, or of your energy expenditures come from that. The next part, 20% of your day comes from NEAT, and that's called non-exercise activity thermogenesis. That's fidgeting. That's 10,000 steps. That's, some people stand when they work. That's gardening. That's vacuuming your house, playing with your kids. Then you have the thermal effect of food. So if I am eating like very fibrous foods, protein-based foods, it takes me a little while for my body to, grind up the food. And that's another 10%. And then the final piece, which is 10%, 10% is exercise thermogenesis, right? So do you see that it's 10%, 20% is me actually just moving around. And, we all know we have a very, 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 very stationary lifestyle, right? We live that. And then, let's talk about COVID, made us very stationary. A lot of us don't do the same things we used to do, and that's okay. And this isn't me, again, there's no judgment. It's like, when I know better, I can do better. Okay. So start to think about, how can I add more movement into my day? All right. That turns us into strength training. All right. Some people strength train all the time, and that's great. Love it. Rock on with your bad self. Others, not so much. And this one kills me. It kills me. I've been a personal trainer for over 15 years. And when I worked at the gym, I would see women stroll right past the weight rack to hop on the treadmill, the elliptical, pack spin classes, all chasing that endorphin high. I get it. The endorphin high is fabulous. However, I really wish more women would start to strength train, because there's two, when I first started teaching, I had to take a course on metabolism. And the woman just like described it perfectly. And I was like, that's just the best explanation. So we all know what a beach ball looks like, right? This big, fluffy beach ball. We all know what a baseball looks like, right? Beach ball, baseball. So when I am just strength training, most of us would rather look like a baseball, like tight format, where cardio just gives me that beach ball. Like, I've heard the term skinny fat. Cardio does that, right? If you want to boost your metabolism, look better, get leaner and tighter, strength training is the way to go. And I really wish people would, whoever started the rumor that, women get bulky when they lift weights, I want to find them I'm going to share my TED talk and be like, you need to stop spreading these lies to these people, right? Strength training will not make you look bulky. It's a flat out lie. You don't have the right hormones or genetic makeup to look like a dude. If you feel like you are looking like a dude, get your testosterone checked, right? Because you don't look like a dude. So the easiest type of strength training, if you are not strength training currently, is body weight, right? Body weight has so many benefits. One, it makes you stronger. Two, improves your posture, requires no equipment, and you could do it anywhere. Like start with the basics. The basics work. Like you don't need to be flipping a flaming logo to have a great workout. So think about it. It's push-ups, sit-ups, squats, pull-ups, lunges, right? And if we can, like going back to what I said, if I can add in 150 minutes of movement, that's 3 strength training sessions a week to my schedule. Oh, it could start with at least 15 minutes, push-ups, squats on Tuesday, and then another 15 minutes on Thursday of sit-ups and pull-ups. And then on Sunday, add in some lunges, some pull-ups, and some hip bridges. That's going to get you started, right? It's just really simple here. And if you're ready to give this a try, follow me on Instagram, Kim Jefferson Coach. I do what I call Fat Burning Friday. So if you look for the hashtag Fat Burning Friday, I give a workout that can be done in 15 minutes or less with little to no equipment. Okay, little to no equipment. So get strength training, because us ladies over 40, we lose 35% of our muscle mass naturally if we are not helping to fight the tide. So let's just think about like that story about the guy who put was like in Amsterdam, he was like plugging the holes with like the dike, plug the hole in the darn dike. All right, plug the hole in the darn dike. All right, this next one, I'm raising my hand. Hi, I'm Kim. I was guilty of being a no rest day girl. My idea of a rest day was doing yoga, like a power yoga class. Okay, so, and I still hear that people are like, oh, I don't do a rest day, I do yoga on my rest day. So here's where I want us to start to think about. It's like, you think that in order to get results, that you need to go hard all the time, right? But have you fully considered that your body needs some downtime, right? Just like you need to sleep to recharge, your body needs to do the same thing. It needs time to rest and recover, because that's where the changes happen in your physique. And so I see a lot of it. I see a lot of women like walking around very inflamed. It's because their body is under so much stress trying to keep up with their crazy workout schedule, the HIIT classes, the HIIT spin classes, the boot camps. They're trying to keep up with it. So we need to take time to rest and recover. Now, this doesn't mean and now for some people, this means sitting on the couch all day, watching a Hallmark movie. Awesome. Enjoy. But if you're someone who's like, I just can't sit still. I understand that. But it could be just going for a walk. It could be going for not an aggressive hike, but like a simple hike with your family and friends, doing some mobility work, but it's like we're still moving our bodies, getting the blood flowing, but not in this hardcore way. Rest days are important, and your body needs them to propel you to where you want to go, provided you've given yourself a goal. So let's take a deeper dive. And again, I've taken a deeper dive into overtraining, and the 2 women that I've talked to about overtraining, they took it to the extreme. And so they are like well aware of the signals that your body is sending out to you when it's like, uncle. And I've also talked about it in that workout podcast that I've talked about, where the workout podcast I've talked about, but I talked about red days, green days, and yellow days. So have a listen, and, definitely now's the time to start revisiting your approach to exercise. The next place comes exercising for food. And I see this a lot, because exercising for food is a mindset mistake. Like some people use it for motivation. If I run this mile, I can have a piece of cake. Or I also see the opposite. Last night I had too much wine or bread, and I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to burn it off, or I'm not going to eat till lunch. And, now I said, find something that's going to help motivate you into action for exercise. But it's a mistake, right? When you're exercising, sure, you're burning fat, you're burning calories, but it's like this like never ain't ever game of cha-cha, right? Like you're never going to win because there's no organ in your body that says she just had 40 this do. Like there's no adding machine where like the adding machine tape is coming out of your head. And I'm thinking if you're younger than 40 and you're listening to this, you're like, what's an adding machine? So so here's what it is, like, find a different motivation. Like, you're not a dog, right? Dogs work for treats. Like, they don't sit on the couch and you'll get a little extra treat. That's not you. So eat the best quality food you can. No more white knuckling it. Allow yourself to have 1 to 2 treats each week. This isn't you rewarding yourself for food. This is you saying, if I don't have these treats, I'm going to lose my stuff. And it's making it a lifestyle. So your lifestyle isn't about deprivation. And having treats helps you from constantly binging on crap because you told yourself you can't have it. And it's better for you, for your long-term health. And it keeps you from this yo-yo dieting game. All right. And helping you to stop sabotaging your weight loss goals. All right. So then the next one is quitting too soon, right? So many people quit exercising and give up on the fitness programs before they really get you a chance to see the results. Because it's like or we think our body's Amazon Prime. I'm going to work out for on Monday. And by Friday, if I haven't lost 500 pounds, then what did I do it for? Right? It's exercise nutrition is cumulative, right? And it's not this like, I did this, so I should get that. It doesn't work like that. It's there's an adage, like it's like about 4 weeks for you to really like get the habit like ingrained. Then it's about another 8 weeks before someone other than you sees it. And then it's another 8 weeks before you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, hey, how you doing? But it's like, when we get to that, like, I'd say 6-8 week period, we get a little squirrely and we're like, it's not happening fast enough. And so that's when we quit, or we think we got to go a little heavier, a little harder, or cut or slash or whatever. So here's why it's important for you to find a program that you like, find a way of eating that you like, so that it's not about depriving, but it's like finding a pattern that can start to help you with the consistency, because it's the consistent effort that will determine your results, right? And so when we quit too soon, we miss out on that more energy that we're going to feel, the improved confidence when we are like, one, proving to ourselves that we can do this, but also that I look in the mirror and I'm like, ooh, maybe my pants are a little looser. Maybe I am starting to see a little bit more muscle definition. I'm going to have better sleep, better sex, weight loss, strengthen your immune system, and so many other benefits if you just kept going. And remember, here's where it's like you come back to that why. Why am I doing this? Right? That's where the why comes from. Also, I see this all the time, like the postponement of your start date, right? So it's like, I'm going to start on Monday, January 1st. Labor Day is another big start day. When the kids' schedule gets settled, when work is over, right? I hear it all the time. And so here's what the thing, like, you wait for exercising because you're waiting for the perfect day. Well, perfect's not coming, right? It's not coming. So today is the perfect day to start the exercise program. I was on a cruise recently, and the captain of the boat, he would always be like when we're about to like take sail for the next island, he's like, what's today? And always the answer was, today's the best day, right? So today's the best day. Even if you're listening to this at 5 o'clock at night, today's the best day. Whatever your next meal is, whatever your next action is, today's the day to take that action that's going to move you towards your weight loss goal. All right. So, and then lastly, as I wrap this up, the biggest thing that I see a lot is not asking for help. I was about to say asking, and I've never said that ever. Not asking for help. It's tough to go it alone. And you're not a failure if you ask for help, right? Because we we all think our poop don't stink, right? We all think that we can handle it on our own. And, you know, if you're looking for a way to stop repeating the same mistakes over and over and over again, you're looking for a way to accelerate your results, a way to gain a new perspective, ask for help. I've been in the fitness industry for almost 2 decades. And from time to time, I need support to someone to look over my shoulder and show me my blind spots. Not sure, you know, not sure how this will look for you. I've done an interview with my clients talking about this and how she was able, like, she continued to work for me because she's like, you help me find my blind spots, right? You give me new perspectives on things, or, something really simple, telling her to double cook her lunch because kept skipping lunch because she didn't meal prep. And that was just really something that really helped her. So I really want you to, if you're like, I don't know how to ask for expert help. I mean, I ask for help. One of the things that when I've been going through all of my challenges here is that I was like, I know how to do it for myself. I know how to do it, but I can't do it for myself. And it was like, expert help that told me I was eating too much food. It was healthy. No one could ever tell me my food, I was eating crap. I was eating too much of it. So that was something I would have never thought that I would have never done for myself. I would have looked at this food log looks amazing, but it was too much amazing. But so have a listen to that. I also run a free Facebook group that I share weekly challenges, recipes, and fitness tips. So that if you ever just want to hop in there and just take some of the advice that I'm just freely giving, absolutely do that. And just because you hire someone doesn't mean you have to hire them forever. When I was a personal trainer in person, people would come to me for like a month, and we would just go over form, or we would just go over, a few things just to kind of like tweak them, give them I don't know, I'm going to say like an attitude adjustment, right? And then send them back off. And then they would come back 6 months later, another attitude adjustment, and send them back off, right? So when we tell ourselves that, like, I can do this on my own, we're missing out on expert tips. We're missing out on the motivation, the accountability, form improvements, a structured workout that you don't have to create yourself, right? Because like when you work with a fitness professional, you're gaining all of these benefits that you alone can't provide to yourself. And you're going to push yourself a little harder because let's just be honest, like we can't, like some people can like rock on with your bad self if you're that magic unicorn. I am not, right? But some of you in 2 days a week, I go to a class that like I'm never going to do the things on a treadmill that I would do in this class, right? But I do it because I know I need that in my life. So it can help you, take your fitness level take you from where you are right now to the next level. We can identify ways to help you transform that workout. That might be something really simple that you never even thought of that could be the game changer for you. And like I said, it doesn't have to be this long-term expense. It can easily be, just a quick tune-up for you there. And as I'm wrapping this up, it's like, I've shared the 10 common fitness mistakes, but, I want to know, right? What are some of the mistakes that you found that you've been making? Again, this is not me being like, shame on you. It's like, I want to be able to, know so that I can expand on them if it needs to become a whole episode on of itself. And so do me a favor, screenshot that and share it with me and just like, oh yeah, girl, this was me. and now that you are aware of them, I would love for you to take one step. For first, let's rewind. Forgive yourself, right? You didn't know, now you know. I think there's a song like, if you don't know, now you know. Can't remember what song that's from. If you know, holla. But first step, forgive yourself. And then, no one's perfect. And now that you know, now's the time to start making the changes. So ladies, mistakes happen. Don't let these mistakes set you back from achieving the fitness that you deserve. All right. I have loved this conversation. And if you've loved this conversation as well, I love feedback. So let me know what you're thinking about this show, and enjoy the rest of your day.